Nothing surprises me anymore.
It was just like you said.
That doesn't surprise me.
That was quite obvious.
There's nothing you can do about it.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
It's not what I heard.
just have to listen.
These are bad times.
You just have to listen.
He can't keep anything to himself.
That will never change.
Go away, don't tell me that.
Same old thing all over.
That's terrible.
Tell me that isn't true.
That's not what my husband thinks.
It had to happen sooner.
These are bad times. He simply talks too much. Now that's typical, isn't it? You don't say.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
That's an open secret. And it's going to get even worse. I won't tell you anything from now.
You can't rely on that.
That's not what my husband thinks. You don't say. That's what I always say.
You can't rely on that.
But that's terrible. That's what I've always said.
Same old thing all over again.
But that's terrible. That's an open secret. But that's terrible.
I'm staying out of it.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself. And it's going to get even worse. That's an open secret. Go away, don't tell me that.
Tell me that isn't true.
That's not what I heard. I can't take care of everything for everybody.
I've got no time for things like
He'd better shut up.
that. It was his decision, wasn't it?
Really, how interesting. That's an open secret.
Been there, done that.
But that's terrible.
You don't have to tell me that.
You don't say.
You can't rely on that.
I can't take care of everything for everybody. That's not what my husband thinks. Really, how interesting. But that's terrible. That's not what I heard. He can't keep anything to himself. These are bad times.
Nobody wants to know.
He simply talks too much. Everybody knows by now. I can't take care of everything for everybody.
No one really wants to hear that.
I can't
Say
take
that
care of
myself.
everything for everybody. But that's terrible. And he wants all the attention. Honestly, I witnessed it myself. That's an open secret. That's what I've always said. Really, how interesting. I can't take care of everything for everybody.
That will never change.
I won't tell her a thing from now. Really, how interesting. Who says things like that? He can't keep anything to himself. Honestly, I witnessed it myself. That's not what I heard. Really, how interesting. Honestly, I witnessed it myself. That's what I've always said. Honestly, I witnessed it myself. That's not what my husband says. Honestly, I witnessed it myself. You don't say. He had better shut up. He can't keep anything to himself. Honestly, I witnessed it myself. I can't take care of everything for everybody. Everybody knows by now. That's not what I heard. Who says things like that? I don't believe that. If I haven't seen it with my own eyes. That's an open secret. These are bad times.
Fair punishment.
Who says things like that?
That's
And
not
he
what I
wants
heard.
holiday, too.
Chaos deals out fair punishment.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
I used to say that myself.
Tony's treating her
You can't rely on fair punishment.
Tony's anything to me.
Honest, I ain't.
That's not what I heard.
You should really have known better.
I don't believe that.
You don't have to tell me that.
These are bad times. Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
The things I could tell you.
That's not what my husband thinks.
You should really have known better.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
Been there, done that.
And it's going to get even worse.
It was his decision, wasn't
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes,
it? I couldn't care less.
I don't believe that.
You don't have to tell me that.
These are bad times.
That will never change. Nothing's ever going to change that.
Now that's typical, isn't
No one really wants to hear that.
It can't go on like this forever.
it? These are bad times.
Let's wait and see what happens.
You just have to listen.
I've got my own opinion about that.
That's not what I heard.
I knew that would be a problem.
Obvious.
No idea. You tell me.
He didn't get that from me,
You don't say.
but he knew that
It's
all
totally
along.
obvious.
No one really wants to hear that.
I'm not touching
Nothing's
that.
ever going to change that.
But that's terrible.
So why won't they
Anything's
listen to
possible.
me?
That was no big
I've heard a thing or two.
Some problems solve themselves.
That's not what I heard.
You don't have to ask me that.
deal. It had to happen soon.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
Nothing's ever going to change that.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes,
I used to say that myself.
It's exactly what I said. Nothing should change that.
everybody knows by now.
That's not what I
Hear
heard.
that from me.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
I don't want to hear that.
Can't go on like this forever.
I can't take care of everything
I'd
for
have done it
everybody.
differently.
It's
Wait and
totally
see.
obvious.
I couldn't care less.
Those are all just
Enough
rumors.
trouble as it is.
And it's going to get even
That
worse.
was obvious all
Believe that.
along.
Solve themselves.
I couldn't care less.
You have to feel
How'd you
sorry.
pick that
You
up
better
then?
watch out who you tell.
I can't take care of everything
Is
for
it really
everybody.
true?
Touching that.
It had to happen sooner or
I
later.
wouldn't have done it.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
Go away, don't tell me
He
that.
would have never thought of that
You
himself.
just have to listen.
That's nothing new.
As much.
Really, how interesting.
Hardly know who to believe these days.
Things I can tell.
Those are all just rumors.
You don't say.
That was no
That's exactly what I
Can't
said.
like this forever.
He simply talks too
If
much.
he doesn't see that, I can't help it.
I'm staying out.
Nothing's ever going to change that.
That's not what my husband
I agree
thinks.
with you
Sorry,
completely.
don't believe anymore.
I'm staying out.
Let's wait and see what
Ask for
happens.
my opinions.
I can't take care of everything for
Telling
everybody.
you anything new.
That.
I used to say that myself.
Anything's possible.
Can't go on like this forever.
You don't say.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
You should really have known better.
Nobody ever asked
Try
me.
to listen to me.
Now that's typical.
You don't have to tell me that.
Let's wait and see
I
what
have an
happens.
opinion about that.
Really, how interesting.
No idea. You tell me.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. Go away, don't tell me that.
Is it really true?
I used to say that myself.
Listen to me.
Everybody knows by
I
now.
never knew
Pick
that.
that up then.
Solve themselves.
It was his decision, wasn't
You
it?
already know what I
Can't
think.
believe that.
Who says things like that?
It's a bad
Really
business.
deserve that.
And there's more, believe
exactly
me.
what I
That would be a
said.
problem.
You don't say.
Don't tell me you
first
didn't
time
know
I've heard
that.
You should really have known better.
Some problems
Can't
solve
believe
themselves.
that.
Someone's got to do the work.
No one really wants to hear
I
that.
wouldn't have done it
As much. I get so worked up.
I can't take care of everything for everybody.
It was his decision.
It's the first time she's seen it keep saying.
He simply talks too much.
That's no secret.
You
Really? How interesting.
Bad business.
It had to happen sooner or
I
later.
really didn't deserve that.
You don't say.
He really never thought of that himself.
I couldn't get away with that.
It's totally no one's problem anymore.
You don't say.
When he doesn't see it, I can't help it.
Nobody wants to know.
I've heard it cause more trouble like this forever.
And it's going to get
I
even
never knew
worse.
that.
For me.
No idea. You tell me.
So would you have had me here?
Who says things like that?
That was obvious all along.
He thinks it's as easy as...
did you make that up these days?
Let's wait and see what happens. Nobody ever asks me. Nobody ever asks me. I wouldn't have done it.
You picked that up then.
I'm no better off myself. Just rumors. That'll only cause more trouble. That doesn't have the first time. You have to feel sorry for all kinds of rumors.
That was
Get
obvious
that
all
from me,
along.
I think. You already know about
Get
that.
that from me.
Nothing amazes me.
As if I didn't have enough.
I'd have done it differently
As
if
if
I
I
didn't
didn't
have
have
enough.
That's exactly what I said.
And it's gonna
He
get
would have
even
never
worse.
thought of that himself.
Those are all just rumors. Better to watch out who you tell one.
You don't
I
say.
never knew that.
That's exactly what I said. You don't have to ask me if I was for your opinion.
And it's gonna
I
get
never
even
knew
worse.
that.
That's totally obvious. I could have told you that before. Better to watch out who you tell what.
That's not what I heard.
I've got no time. That will never change. You should really have known that.
I agree with you completely.
The things I could tell. No idea. You tell me.
I agree with you completely. Don't tell me you didn't know that.
It had to happen sooner. I couldn't care less.
That's not what I heard. It's a bad business.
That was no good. He thinks it's as easy as that.
I agree with you. Someone's got to pay for that.
Been there, done that. It had to happen sooner or later.
If he doesn't see that, he would have never done that himself.
You don't have to tell me. That's no secret.
It's really not. If he doesn't see that, I can't help it.
That's no secret. I used to say that myself.
That's not what I heard.
And there's more. No idea. You tell me.
I'd have done it differently. Justice will prevail in the end.
The path of virtue. That will never change.
Got my own opinion about that.
It's not what I heard.
That was quite obvious. I've heard a thing or two.
You never knew that.
Don't say you didn't know that. You didn't get that from me.
I'm no better off myself.
Why would they listen to me?
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I hardly know what to do.
It's a bad business.
I can't believe that.
But no, he insisted he knew better. He never would have thought of that himself.
That's the first I've heard of it.
That's been known a long time.
We can only wait and see.
Will it ever change?
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
He never would have thought of that himself.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Will it ever change?
We can only wait and see.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I knew that would be a problem.
He doesn't see that. I can't help him.
Where did you pick that up then?
But no, he insisted he knew better.
Wouldn't be so sure.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
That was quite obvious.
I agree with you completely.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
That's all just gossip.
I don't believe this is gonna change. Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I'm not touching that.
That doesn't surprise me.
Why get so worked up? That's the first I've heard of it.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
I'd have gone about it differently.
I can't believe that.
Order and chaos were now unequal, and he bade
Got
Enos
my own
to
opinion
take his
about that.
divine power from the human.
I agree with you completely.
Where did you
And
pick that up
Enos,
then?
in his wisdom, did so.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
I've heard a thing or two.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Adanos feared for the day in which the beast
Take that
would
up.
return to the land.
I agree with you completely.
So it was quite obvious.
And so he bade Enos leave a part of his power in his realm, so that he might restore to the human if the beast should return. And Enos,
Get that
in
from
his
me.
wisdom, did so.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
And so he set himself between his brothers in order to reconcile their dispute, and he did not succeed. But there, where Adanos stood, was a place in which Enos and Beliar had no power. And in this place, order and chaos were equal, and so the sea was created. And the sea released the land, and there arose all creatures, trees as well as animals, wolves as well as sheep. Last of all arose the human. And Adanos was pleased with what had arisen. He delighted in all the beings equally. But so great was the wrath of Beliar, he came across the land and chose the beast.
can't go on like this forever.
I'm no better off myself.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
I'm not telling you anything new.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
Do you really believe that?
So why won't they listen to me?
If he doesn't see that, I can't help it.
It can't go on like this forever.
Will it ever change?
I already thought as much.
That was obvious all along.
That was quite obvious.
It's not what I heard.
So why won't they listen to me?
I could tell.
Who says things like that?
He thinks it's as easy as...
Who says things like that? Who says things like that? He'd better shut up.
Nobody wants to know.
Someone's gonna do the work. He'd better shut up. Really, how interesting.
That was no big deal.
I don't believe that. That's not what I heard.
You don't have to tell me that.
That's not what my husband thinks. I won't tell her a thing. That's not what my husband thinks.
I couldn't care less.
He had better shut up. If I hadn't seen it, go away. Don't tell me that.
It was his decision.
You don't say. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. Really, how interesting. What's an answer? Really, how interesting. You had better shut up. I don't believe that. That's terrible. Everybody knows by now. He had better shut up. These are bad times. He can't keep anything to himself. Really, how interesting. That's not what I heard. He simply talks too much. And it's going to get even worse.
I couldn't get away with that.
These are bad times.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
That's an open secret.
It had to happen soon.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
The things I could tell you.
That's not what I heard.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
I can't take care of everything for everybody.
I used to say that myself.
That's an open secret.
I couldn't get away with that.
Everybody knows by now.
You just have to listen.
He'd better shut up.
The things I can tell.
Take care of everything for
He
everybody.
thinks it's as easy as that.
He'd better shut up. Everybody knows by now.
Someone's got to do the work.
I couldn't get away with that.
Honestly, I witnessed it. That's an open secret.
These are bad times.
You can't rely on that.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
Tell me that isn't true.
And it's going to get even worse.
I couldn't get away with that.
Really, how interesting.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Don't tell this to anyone.
No one really wants to hear that.
He simply talks too much.
You can't rely on that.
Works all day, too.
Don't tell her.
And there's more, believe me.
Nothing surprising.
You don't.
That was obvious all along.
You don't say.
You don't have to tell me.
I'd have gone about it differently.
And he works all day, too.
It's a bad
He'd
business.
better shut up.
That's not what my husband thinks.
I agree with you completely.
I said.
These are bad
Same
times.
old thing all over.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
That's what I've always said.
I'd have gone about it
Someone's got to
differently.
do the work.
Someone's got to
That
do
was
the
no
work.
big deal.
You listened to the wrong
That's what I've
people.
always said.
Everybody knows by now.
There's nothing you
I
can do
won't
about
tell
it.
her a thing from now on.
Don't tell this to
I
anyone.
couldn't care less.
I agree with you
Now
completely.
that's typical, isn't it?
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
That's terrible.
Works all day, too. Who says things like that? These are bad times. He simply talks too much.
That was obvious all along.
That's an open secret.
Hear ye, inhabitants of
Doesn't
Khorinis.
surprise
By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen,
Everybody
the
knows.
following decree is hereby enacted. Due to the general
Never
situation, the forest and wilderness near the city are to be avoided for your own protection. Furthermore,
But no,
any
you
contact
insisted
with the
you knew better.
rebelling peasantry in the surrounding areas
You can't
is
keep anything
strictly
to yourself.
forbidden.
It's really not my problem.
That's an open secret.
Is it really true?
But it's gonna get even worse.
Will it ever change?
He had better shut up.
gone about it differently.
I don't believe that.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
The following decree is hereby enacted. The security measures for the protection of the upper quarter will be further strengthened. The guards on the gates are ordered to interpret the law in the strictest sense in order to prevent unauthorized entry.
And it's gonna get even worse.
I'm no better off myself.
But that's terrible.
It's really not my problem.
That's typical, isn't it?
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
Honestly, it's
Enacted. Due to the general
Someone's gonna do the
situation, the forest and wilderness near the city
been
are
known
to
a
be
long
avoided
time.
for your own protection. Furthermore,
he
any
works all day,
contact
too.
with the rebelling peasantry in the surrounding areas
It's
is
really not my
strictly
problem.
forbidden.
He simply talks too much.
That's all just gossip.
He simply talks too much.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
Someone's gonna do the work.
I'd have gone about it differently.
That's not what my husband thinks.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
That's really not my problem.
Don't tell this to anyone.
There's nothing you can do
Hear
about it.
ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the explicit
Honestly, I wouldn't
order
stand
of the
myself.
Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby
surprises me
enacted.
anymore.
From this moment onward, Lord Andre
That's an
will
easy.
take the supreme command of our militia. All the
I'm no
citizens
better
of
off
this
myself.
city who have martial skills at their disposal are herewith
That's an easy.
urged to join the royal militia.
You listen to the wrong people.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. Due to the general situation, the forest and wilderness near the city are to be avoided for your own protection. Furthermore, any contact... Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. Due to the general situation, the forest and wilderness near the city are to be avoided for your own protection. Furthermore, any contact with the rebelling peasantry in the surrounding areas is strictly forbidden.
Restore it to the human if the beast should return. And Enos, in his wisdom, did so. But the light was a torment for Belial. All that Enos created was destroyed by Belial. Adonos saw that this way, nothing could exist at all. No light and no darkness. And so he set himself between his brothers in order to reconcile their dispute, and he did not succeed. But there, where Adonos stood, was a place in which Enos and Beliar had no power.
We can only wait and see.
That in?
Get away with that?
I'm not touching that.
Been there, done that.
I've got my own opinion about that.
Nobody wants to know.
Where did you pick that up then?
He thinks it's as easy as that.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
No idea. You tell me.
It can't go on like this forever.
You don't have to tell me that.
I already thought as much.
I used to say that myself.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
Can't rely on that.
I've got my own opinion about that.
Never change.
I've got my
declared in all cities and regions of the realm. All civilian judges are to hand over their duties to the royal paladins, effective immediately. The Honorable Lord Andre is commanded to punish every crime or act of resistance against the King's guards most severely. Every inhabitant of Khorinis who is guilty of a crime is to report immediately to Lord Andre.
Will it ever change?
Nobody ever asks me.
I'm not telling you anything new.
There've been all kinds of rumors.
You never would have thought that yourself.
It's gonna get even worse.
Due to the general situation, the forest and wilderness near the city are to be avoided for your own protection. Furthermore, any contact with the rebelling peasantry in the surrounding areas is strictly forbidden.
There've been all kinds of rumors.
I agree with you completely.
He works on it, too.
Anything's possible.
It's been known a long time. Nothing surprises me anymore.
He had better shut up.
As if I didn't have enough rumors.
It's not what I heard. It's really not my problem.
Honestly, it's getting sad.
Do you really think?
It doesn't surprise me.
That's terrible.
It's totally obvious.
You never would have thought that himself.
That's what I've always said.
And it's gonna get even worse.
Go away, don't tell me that.
That's an open secret.
And it's going to get even worse.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
Who says things like that?
I don't believe that.
But that's terrible. I don't believe that. And he works all day, too.
Really, how interesting. Now that's typical, isn't it?
That's not what I heard. He can't keep anything to himself.
I don't believe that. That's what I've always said.
You don't say. That's not what I heard.
Long time.
Honestly, I simply talk too much.
These are bad times, you didn't say.
But that's terrible. Who says things like that?
That's what I've always said. He can't keep anything to himself.
That's terrible. That's an open secret.
Now that's typical. Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
That's an open secret. Everybody knows by now.
Don't tell this to anyone. Everybody knows by now.
Everybody knows by now. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes,
I can't take care of it. He had better shut up.
I won't tell her a thing from now on. Who says things like that?
Really? How interesting. Don't tell this to anyone.
And he works all day. That's an open secret.
Don't tell this to anyone. I don't believe that.
If I hadn't seen it with my own
don't
eyes.
tell me that. That's not what I...
shall
tell me.
I'd have done it differently.
That was no big deal.
It's a bad business.
Only in us decides what's right.
I'm no better off myself.
Nobody wants to know.
Will it ever change?
I'm staying out.
It's a bad business.
Just listen to him.
You don't have to tell me that. I couldn't agree with that.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
That was obvious all along. Listen to the wrong people.
Same old thing all over again.
Will it ever change?
You don't have to tell me that.
That's all just gossip.
Tell me that isn't true.
I agree with you completely.
You don't have to tell me that.
Is it really true?
You know this deal's unfair punishment.
You listen to the wrong people.
Same old thing all over again.
That's been known a long time.
No idea. You tell me.
Is it really true?
That was
Nobody will learn anything from me.
That's no secret.
That's all just gossip.
That happened.
People will never look at themselves.
That happened.
People will never look at themselves.
Tell me that isn't true.
And so
he really
set
should have some
himself
custom.
between his brothers
But he knew
in
that
order
all
to
along.
reconcile their dispute. And he
You can't rely on that.
not succeed.
I wouldn't be so sure.
There where Animus stood was a
There was no
place in which
meeting.
Enos and Beliar had no power.
Where did you pick that up then?
That's no secret. That was obvious.
In this place,
I already thought as much.
chaos were equal. And so
He thinks it's as easy as that.
I don't believe this is going to change.
But so great was the wrath of Beliar that he came across the land and chose the beast. And Beliar spoke to it, and the beast became his subject. And Beliar gave unto it a portion of his divine power, so that it might destroy the land.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
Going to get even worse.
And Enos beheld what Beliar had done, and he also bestrode the land and chose the human. And Enos spoke to him, and the human became his subject. And Enos gave unto him a portion of his divine power, so that he might undo the work of Beliar. And Beliar spoke to another creature. But Adanos brought forth the tide, and the creature was washed from the face of the earth.
No one really wants to hear that.
Adanos saw that order
Same
and
old thing,
chaos were now
over again.
unequal, and he bade Enos to take his divine power from the human.
The things I can tell you.
And Enos,
He
in
really
his
did
wisdom,
deserve that.
did so.
Same old thing, all over again.
Where did you pick that up then?
Nobody
Adanos
wants to know.
feared for the day in which the beast would
heard
return
a
to
thing
the
or two.
land.
That'll never change.
That's the first I've heard of it.
And so he bade Enos to leave a part of his power in his realm, so that he might restore it to the
You can't
human
go on like
if
this
the
forever.
beast should return.
That'll never change.
And Enos, in his wisdom, did so. But the light was a torment for Beliar. Not succeed. But there, where Adanos stood, was a place in which Enos and Beliar had no power. And in this place, order and chaos were equal. And so the sea was created. And the sea released the land, and there arose all creatures, trees as well as animals, wolves as well as sheep. And last of all arose the human. And Adanos was pleased with what had arisen. He delighted in all the beings equally. But so great was the wrath of Beliar that he came across the land and chose the beast. And Beliar spoke to it, and the beast became his subject. And Beliar gave unto it a portion of his divine power, so that it might destroy the land. But Enos beheld what Beliar had done, and he also bestrode the land and chose the human. And Enos spoke to him.
It's not what I heard.
That's the first I've heard of
Do you really believe that?
it. That's the first I've heard of it.
Will it ever change?
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
It's not what I heard.
just like you said.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help it.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
I'm not telling you anything new.
So why won't they listen to me?
Will it ever change?
I already thought as much.
I'm no better off myself.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Nobody wants to know.
It's really not my problem.
I couldn't care less.
Justice will prevail in the end.
No idea. You tell me.
I'd have done it differently.
That was no big deal.
I'd have done it differently.
In-house deals out fair punishment.
That's all just gossip.
I used to say that myself.
Will it ever change? It's a bad business.
That's no secret.
That's all just gossip.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Enos enlightens all those who recognize his wisdom.
And there's more. Believe me.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis, by the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree and his arm himself appropriate. Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis, by the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis, by the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. From this moment onward, Lord Andre will take the supreme command of our militia. All the citizens of this city...
It's a bad business.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
I'm no better off myself.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
He never would have thought of that himself.
much.
That's been known a long time.
But he knew that all along.
That was obvious all along.
He really didn't deserve that.
You listened to the wrong people.
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
I'm no better off myself.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
I'd have gone about it differently.
Justice will prevail in the end.
I used to say that myself.
It's a bad business.
I used to say that myself.
It's a bad business.
I've got no time myself like that.
That's not what I heard.
Chaos deals out fair punishment.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
I used to say that myself.
I have my own opinion about that.
You can't rely on fair punishment.
I'm not telling you anything new.
I'm staying out of that.
We hardly know who to believe these days.
Only in us.